Oh, dear Lord. I have a problem. What is going on here? My iPad cable is in the way. And my camera's not in the right place. Who's been working today? Okay, hold on guys. Sorry. We'll get it all set back up. There we go. Alright. Alright, welcome back to another live stream of Down the Rabbit Hole. We are on week 4 of the painting projects. There's a lot of weeks to go if I end up making it till the end of the year. But week 4, we're here. On Monday, if you missed Monday's episode, I basically rolled dice to pick what canvas we're painting on. And the canvas that ended up being wasn't recycled. It was a new piece of canvas. So we have the canvas, which I painted white since I last saw you. Or did I paint it white on stream? I might have painted it white on stream. But it's been painted white. I did some drawing in the last day. I did some drawing yesterday of the Wolverine. My issue with the Wolverine, though, is it just doesn't look like anything really. Like, the features are so not distinct that it kind of looks like a bear every time I draw it, which has been quite frustrating. So then I actually took it and looked at it in a different way, and I kind of like the idea that I'm going with, but it's Wednesday and I haven't even started painting the background or anything. So I'm a little bit behind my own schedule. I know I can push myself and get it done. And since there's no pressure for these to look like anything, just more or less just trying to stay regiment with the projects and get them somewhat complete so that I can feel like some things get done around here. Anyways, so let's jump over into the studio and I will show you the drawings that I've been working on, hopefully. And then we're going to work on a few different things. We'll see how this goes, because I kind of want to do a digital tutorial on how I can switch over to my iPad, and then it's easier to work on some things on my iPad. I feel like I'd like to start my initial sketch out like on paper and then get like the feel of it. But yeah. So first off, let's jump over onto the studio. We're going to jump into the studio. So we're back in the studio. Here's some of the artwork that I've been working on for this project. Now, this is all pencil sketch, so we really don't have that much detail here. But this was like a quick shading piece that I did, and I really like this. I think this is too big for the piece. Maybe not. I don't know. We're going to take a look at it again, and I might change a lot of how I did things and set things up. Sorry. I was probably filming a time lapse of something. Anyways, so I did this, but I really wanted to do the entire skeleton of the Wolverine, because that's what we're working on. We're working on Wolverine. But let's just jump over into... Sorry, I'm going to have to do this to you guys and split screen you, but I'll show you my issue with the Wolverine. Look. It looks like a miniature bear, but a weasel. But a bear weasel? Oh. Or a skunk? This is the rare footage of the one in Yellowstone. It's got a really broad front face. The little eyebrow peeks up over it. So my idea is to take an extension of this idea of the skeleton inside the Wolverine. And like the other paintings that I've done, let's go back to the studio. Like the other paintings that I've done, I did heavily excuse me. I did use some chrome on these to give them like a real shine and to make it pop a little bit more. And I kind of want to stick with that idea. I think I might want to outline this guy, but I'm not sure. And when it comes to pulling off the outline stuff, the reason I say that is I did a series of records. So I did a series of records, which I'll show you now, since we have a little bit of time. So I did a series of records. My friend gave me a stack of old records that he used to DJ with, and Mac 10 and some other crazy records, Tupac. And I ended up using these because they're just destroyed beyond belief. So I ended up painting on these, and I did these really cool flowers. They're quite messy, but and this chrome is like the chrome is ending, but the next one is really kind of the one that worked the best. So here was the chrome on vinyl. This was all Pashkas when they were new. So like this is when before all the violence. Before I started using them on canvas. I think the canvas really kind of rips them up a little bit. But as you can see, the chrome around it really kind of gives it a cool, like, holographic feel. These were weird creations, all these flowers. So I did a series of flowers. Here's another one. It's got that same look with that chrome around the edge, and I really like that. And these are all just early, like real early UFO drawings that I did. Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. Maybe I should have like made these more themed, but they didn't really come out that themed. They were just for fun, just something to do. Again, that chrome, this one looks better in real life with that chrome, but these were all cool. This one is just, I just wanted to pick some weird colors, so this one was quite strange. And you think it needs a little bit of work, but this one I actually outlined the eyeball, as you can see, in a little bit of chrome. So that makes that reflect a little bit. Here's another one. Oh no, this one's cracked. I think this one was cracked originally. I should glue that. Otherwise, that's going to become a bigger problem. Throw your hands up. Promotional use only, not for sale. Huh. Interesting. But I did this. I don't know when I did this. I also wanted to see if I could give the flowers emotions. So that was kind of a big deal for these. Kind of use the label color as a background color as well. I don't think there's too many more. This one I dropped and I chipped it. Poor baby. This one is actually my favorite. Flower looks so bashful. Crab Shell, thanks for the follow. And then this one I just never finished, so you know, you kind of see the timeline of what happened. This one's Eddie Murphy, Party All the Time. This is TLC. I don't know who this one is. Ralphie's Dub, The Message Mix. GPS, Love You, Right Dub. It's like a phone number on this and everything. Crazy. Records. Music on flat plates of plastic, of vinyl. That one's getting messy. This one I like. So overall, you know, records, and I think I want to carry this silver backing, but I think it only looks good on black. I really think it only helps it pop when it's on black. When it's on top of another color, it doesn't really do what it needs to do. Like we saw in the example of this orange one, where I did put it around, but I just don't know if that's adequate. I guess we can continue to find out, but even that's next to black because it's contrasting color. Yeah, it is kind of amazing we get sound out of this plastic disc. Plus, rubbing a needle on the plastic disc is how we get sound. Through just this little tiny groove. Yeah, records are crazy. And then everything else gets weirder after that. You know, as in like thinking about it. Okay, well, a record, then you have a CD where a laser is like bouncing something back, information back into now a computer where things are being processed. Yeah. Anyways, so we're working on the Wolverine this week, though. So I'm not currently on the flower project. That's just kind of an example of how I wanted to outline maybe the skeleton. But today what I wanted to do was kind of go through a demo of maybe two ways or one way. We'll see how ambitious I am tonight. I'm going to put these away so I don't trip on them and step on any. One way or two ways that we're going to try to make this work. Now, I wanted to use a full skeleton, which I still might need to sketch out, but we're going to take a look again at our canvas. And I apologize that it's in pencil right now. I just didn't get time to put it into any other format, so we're going to zoom us out, and it might be just blank, to be honest, just because it's too oh, I'm watching the wrong one. So very faintly I drew a UFO up there and a UFO over there from the bottom side, and then there's horizon line, some trees. These things live in the boreal forest, so we're gonna have some conifer trees, we're gonna have some other things, which I really want to like just straight up Bob Ross myself for like an afternoon and try to paint a background, and then add my painting to the top, just so like even if the styles clash, it's still like maybe has a cool look to it. I don't know. That's my hope. But with each project, you know, you hope that it works out, and might work out and it might not. Why am I blurry? Don't blur me out. Hold on, sorry guys. There we go. So that's where we're at with this. But my thought process was I'd put a Wolverine here somewhere. Wolverine here. But have the Ray show his skeleton. And maybe what I should have is a Wolverine going up into the air, being pulled up this way, and then another Wolverine half in and half out. Because they say that Wolverines will like pretty much fight anything, like they don't even care. How do speakers work? I don't know how speakers work. How does a microphone work? Like, a microphone does what? Picks up vibrations, I'm guessing? I don't even know. You'd have to watch a million things. Thanks for joining us. We're just hanging out, just doing some drawing. So anyways, I have the skeleton. So idea maybe skeleton of the animal, or whatever's inside the Ray will be the skeleton of the animal. I think that would be kind of my idea. So I would think maybe let's just get some scrap paper real quick, and I'm just gonna just quickly lay out some paper and just draw it out. Actually, I should probably just draw it on the canvas, but my problem is I'm not going to be able to. I need to be able to resize this, and there's a couple ways that I can resize it, and I will show you hopefully how to do that. My first process, I thought what I was going to do, because I think we probably have to resize it first. Well, the easiest way to resize it is to take a photograph of it and then hopefully shrink it. I believe my iPad is about this size, so I could shrink it down, take a picture of what I've already drawn, shrink it down, and then trace it on there. Or I can do it the old-fashioned way. Oh, I can take this stuff, I know, old school. And what's cool is I found my original drawing of Mickey. Oh no, that's not the original. That's the one I used before. Anyways, so tracing paper, and my plan was to use this and use a tracing paper to make almost like a second layer and kind of draw our Wolverine in here, you know, as the top layer with his eye here, you know, and his, because this is his nose. Man, there's animals are made up of so much cartilage. What's going on? Right now. Sorry guys, it's pretty far out. But that doesn't look right. Like if you had to draw face over this, what do you think it's gonna look like? This is what those CSI like investigators do, huh? They're just like, oh, that's an ear hole, right? And so like this lip pattern, I don't know how that follows. I'm guessing the nose is out here somewhere because the teeth, but the lips probably farther even. It's the biggest weasel of its kind. And I can show you on, I believe, the desktop. So like here's, it looks like a cat. They all look the same. Like all these These animals just really kind of mimic each other. And his real life version isn't any better. Let's go to the split screen. There he is. Proud looking skunk. He's got a wide face. Like his face is wide and triangular. So we're gonna have to fix that. Right? Like his head is wide. It's like broad. Now I can't move that eye because I can't unsee it there. But like you got some distance between it, and it's pretty flat. It does bump up a little bit for the eyebrow. But for the most part it's pretty wide. He's got a pretty wide nose too. Okay, it's coming together. I wasn't too sure. Maybe it won't come together, who knows. But like the jaws completely disappears, so what is going on with all these gnarly teeth? Like look at this one from the front. Oh, he's so small, sorry guys. Like how does that translate? Look like bear cubs. And then just doing a little run through. So round ears like bears too. Okay. Yeah. Big old head. They got a big old head. The chin tapers. And the mouth. I still don't see where all those teeth are at. That head does not look big enough to hold. What, this? Supposed to hold that? Look at the head on this thing. It's not the same animal. How did those reconstructive people do it? Well, he might be fighting. The issue is if I wanted to have him pulling back his buddy, it's going to be even more difficult. But maybe we should concentrate on working on that. Because this actual one will not work correctly. It's too big altogether. But this is how I would put this in, except his face would just be closed. He doesn't have any teeth. And maybe that's okay. But then, what's going on with the rest of him? So he just got a little mouth, huh? That's easy. And maybe and then you could draw in then you have a transparency to your original work. And so my thought process is, since Wolverine is made out of, what is it? Animanium. Between a bear, mixed between a bear and a wolf. But it's a weasel. So it's just, I don't know. This thing's tiny. Tiny little guy. So let's put in the actions for let's put in like the players for our scene, since we're gonna have a scene with some X-rayed Wolverines. Sorry. No. So the Wolverine, like everything, has like kind of basic parts to it. But let's start. I kind of want a Wolverine here on the ground. Dug in with both big old claws, but I'm not going to draw the claws yet. And we're going to neck's going to be extended, most likely. And Wolverines do have a decently long neck, actually. Not like a giraffe, but definitely a neck. So we should like bring attention to that, and then like if it's backing up, I would think like it would be pushing Earth forward, right? Ugh. Some things are just so hard to like imagine what's going on, you know? That's the interesting part about drawing, is like you're like, well, if all of those things were happening and I was trying to tell a story with this painting without being able to sit there right next to you and talk to you about it. Oh, sorry guys, drawing in the non-filming zone. That happens. I need to get one of those autofocus, auto zoom in and zoom out. Nose are more pointed like a wolf, forehead and cheeks like a bear. Okay. So they do have a tail, kind of like an ugly tail. Sorry, Wolverines. Man, these ears are so bear-like. Okay. So, and then I want another one. This is going to be the weirdest pose ever. Okay. Nose more square, and then like a just big old fat head. And then like bear ears. Okay. So something like that, right? And then being pulled upwards. So we would have like the skull probably, and then the teeth would be biting it. That's why I was trying to work on the bigger skull. And I apologize if you guys are having a hard time seeing it. I should be drawing this in gray, and I really could. But I'm just trying to draw out the sketch work for it. So the back of the head of the skull, and if I redrew it right with like the wing for the cheek that connects back to this, and then that would go to the vertebrae that go back to scapulas of sorts. Shoulder blades. And then at the end of the shoulder blades, there's arms. Okay, yeah, there's arms, and this arm bone is weird. It's like a different shape. It's like curved backwards almost. And then this arm should be, and then there's like a tibula and fibula, and then you got these crazy long fingers, hand things. And then rib cage, like normal. And then there's a tail. There's a pelvis that goes here. And it has like, I forget the yeah, so it's pretty much vertebrae. See, like maybe a little bit of a longer neck than you might think. But maybe not too long too. So his friend's getting sucked up. He's trying to help him. I don't know what's in their mouth. But so we got a femur, right? And then we got yeah, I think that might work. You know, the backbone really. There's not a whole lot of pictures on the internet about the Wolverine skeletons in general. Just trying to do a little bit of anatomy research here. So also this would be, you know, a skeleton face as well, just within like the line, and then I would draw the outside of him, and then here I think I would just do the silhouette, try to get right, and then since I have one here, I think I should do another Wolverine getting picked up here, up here. Oh, sorry. Lots of flipping cameras around. So I think I'm going to put another Wolverine up in this area, up in the top corner. Oh, happy little Wolverine right here. Not so happy, but again, silhouette. I just need to give it the skeleton, like find a good way to give it a kind of non-detailed skeleton, and then its legs and feet, right? But it's probably gonna be that bushy, weird looking tail that it has, because it's on like, yeah. That thing looks like a chipmunk for sure. That does not look like a Wolverine. These things are going to be hard to tell that it's Wolverine. Looks like a squirrel. Must do more research. So this one, maybe his foot's here. It's like, so then we have him this one right here, these two in their story, that he's trying to save. So let's get rid of this because that's supposed to be the tail, but I don't think. I kind of want this one in a different place, you know? And that's the good thing about drawing with pencil. I know it's really hard for everyone to see, and I do apologize, but we're at a midweek point, so this is just kind of where we are in the project. And I need to order some more art supplies before I start using that gray to death, because I do use that gray a lot to do shading. So I kind of want to put that foot right here. And the other foot might be here, I think. If alright, we gotta come to some sort of vertebrae and coccyx or something. Right, and then he's kind of turned, floating in the air. And his tail, which is the extension of his spine, is getting sucked into there like that. But like in reality, he's got some velociraptor looking feet in this thing. We're kind of just squaring it up, seeing how it's going to feel and look. Yep, bare bones. Alright, yeah, like, what is going on with this guy's feet? Like, no lie, no foot fetish for the Wolverine camp. Like, wow, velociraptor feet. Actually, I like where this one is now in comparison. If it was just a little smaller, because it can kind of be like floating. And this might actually be just his paw because it's not in the light, you know, like it'll come out like somewhere here, which might be cool to make some detail on. Sorry. Whew. So like right here where our bear meets the UFO, I think we can have a little bit of leeway, and his foot will come out right here, so he will be like the color of his foot, but just like toenails. So I guess I'll just kind of put that in now. Right? And that'll make it cool. Hopefully it'll balance out decently well. I have been having some problems with a little bit of balancing, and this maybe he needs a longer body because he really wants to be stretched as far back as he can with his heels like dug in. Maybe, I don't know, with those claws maybe he doesn't need to do that. Pointy face. Pointy face, and I just don't know where those teeth fit in that pointy face. This will be just like a silhouette outline of the Wolverine. Fur being pulled upwards. Maybe we have some like broken up fingers. So the claw looks a little bit more legitimate, because at some point they touch, right, where the claw just comes out of. I don't know where to put the other hand here. Yeah, tibula and the fibula there. And then we have like a lot of. They got some weird arm hands. And I apologize if the I think it's going to be good. Well, I hope so. I always hope they're going to be good. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm also hopeful. This is actually starting to look decent. It's got a pretty bushy tail. It's getting kind of sucked in. Then we have this leg. This leg is just kind of floating. I don't know if I'm going to put it out yet or not. I think that's where the eye would go, somewhere in there. Then we'd have like another ear here, just to give us a little bit of perspective, right? It looks like a possum, but the ears didn't help at all. I don't know. These always help to like just kind of draw it out, get out all the ideas, and then go back over and finish it up. Yeah, I've always really liked, there's a couple artists that do like skeletal frames inside of animals, and then they do some like, there's other artists that do skeletal frames inside of cartoon characters and stuff that I think are pretty cool. Don't drink the paint thinner. I don't have, not Pablo Picasso famous. So something like this, right? Something like this. Maybe fill in, do the skull, get this one, do the skull for this one, put our skeletal frame in again, We don't need it as much for this one because we're really not going to, well, we might get some. So we're going to need the rib cage here of sorts, back down to about here. Then we're going to get spinal cord and then the tailbone. And then maybe the tail's like underneath him, or it's either going to be that or it's going to be behind him, maybe like straight up. I don't know how Wolverine's like, maybe it's going to look like a beaver. I don't know. I'm going to have to be pretty careful with that tail. I'm drawing the skeleton, drawing the skeletal frame. Draw the circle that these guys are going to be in. Try to make it more round this time. Nope, I can't do that. It's not about being more round. So like somewhere in here, we're thinking it has to be the changeover. So I'm still going to have these two, and then all the weird little bones in the hands to do. And then probably like maybe I could sneak it by like putting big piles of snow and like try to dig an indent underneath him, and then pile snow in front of his hands. We're also in the Borealis forest. I want to look up some of the weather patterns, see if the Aurora Borealis passes through. Then maybe I can do something cool with the sky. You know, all those types of things. Whew. Man, each project takes so much research and time, like figuring out how everything moves together. But I think like every time I do a project, I really kind of push myself to doing things like really things out of my comfort zone. I was not ready to draw a skeleton, but I can now, so it's all right. I kind of know what it looks like just from practice, just from the one drawing today. Drawing it from my head. But once, I feel like a lot of animals are the same underneath, and what makes them different is their skeletal structure. So maybe if you could get some idea, but man, if I found the skeleton, I would have thought it was something different. As an archaeologist, I probably would have gone crazy. I was like, oh, I discovered a new animal, and they'd be like, dude, that's a wolverine. I'm like, alright. Well then, erase that thought. So, one bone for this part, and then two bones coming in here. And then, like, hand. Right, but we have length here, so that is the two bones. So this is the lots of bones, and then the little tiny bones in the hand. Yeah, lots of bones and then little tiny bones. And some hair. And that one will be going up into the air, and this one will be here. And if I could put a mound of snow, like he's pushing up a mound of snow as he digs into the dirt, and I probably can, and just add some nails coming over the top of that mound of snow. I don't know how to end it or how to make it look like a mound of snow. How would you draw a bicycle jump? But kind of like it's coming out more over here, you know? You probably don't want his tail under him. And he probably wants his heels in the ground, or at least one heel's in the ground. I should probably make that evident. get it. None of this is perfect yet. It won't be perfect when it's done at the end of the week either, so let's be honest. Let's be honest. But we're going to try to get there. That's the plan. Try to get there. So Wolverine is the plan. Like I said, I might want to do him in some silver. I'm going to look over the background. I'll probably add some trees over here. And if I can find the time within the next day or two, I'm going to Bob Ross the background. Try to put in some happy trees and some quick background. Kind of learn from the masters and then kind of add my own style to it to see what it turns out like. This is week 4, so this is painting number 4. Yeah, it's been just a month. Wow, I can't believe January is almost over though. That was quick. New Year's, like I said, it feels like 2020 was like months ago, and you know, here we are years later. Anywho, so we can probably draw this this structure off the same thing, which I don't really need to draw the skeletal structure, but it'll help me get kind of depth. So it'd come out like this, and we'd have this big muscle surrounding this, and then he'd be pushing down, extending, probably almost right behind his, or on the inside, right? Maybe tucked in towards the inside. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get his like body shape in a little bit better in the next couple of days. Try to figure out how to turn his hips a little bit so he looks like he's sitting back more, and he's really pushing, you know, snow. I really want him to look like he's pushing snow that way, but I kind of have to figure out what that means. What does that look like? Does his body need to be longer? I'm sure his body probably needs to be longer. Like his, I don't know. I gotta look at like dogs pulling toys and stuff online, or like look up a few action shots of pets doing those types of things, and then I can probably get where the body shape needs to be. That's a good thing about drawing things that look similar, just to find something similar and try to emulate it. I needed something like the top half of somebody screwing in a light bulb, and I couldn't find one, but I think I used an NBA player like dunking a basketball eventually, just because they were already in that pose where they were reaching for like the highest point. So that's what I wanted. No, it was someone reaching for the stars, I believe. Anyways, let's hop over into our split screen so we can just take a look. I have too many windows open. I could go to the desktop and okay, this will work. We'll just go to window capture. We're not going to go to split screen. What did I want to look up? Oh, so I would guess like dog tugging tool toy. So right here, Amazon probably gave me a picture. This is not a great one. We really need some real tugging going on. Their whole body almost leans back and their legs go straight, so that's probably what I need to emulate. When you tug on something, you plant all four. They pretty much planted all forward paws in the ground, and they're just tugging. So I think this one shows it pretty well, where he's like planted. What about this little guy? Look, see the legs in the back are straight, very, very straight, and he's almost standing. So Maybe we shouldn't. We should move his tail end up. We really need to put him on some sort of plane. I think that's good if we didn't do this. Add a little bit to his back. Alright, well, we are only going to do an hour stream tonight, so, because it's the weekday and, you know, busy weeks. Let's just jump back in the studio real quick to see kind of where we're at and cover what we've done. So, idea, UFOs taking our 3 Wolverines home. I really want to get into actually making these now that I can see where it's headed. But we have a bare skeletal structure in the back, and then we're going to just do the face of that one. So we're going to do a cool like X-ray type thing as the UFOs, which are, you know, oh dear, UFOs which are here, and then he's got his Wolverine foot that's coming out of the shield, or the beam. What do we call it? Teleporting beam. That's what it's called. Then we got another one that looks like a squirrel, so we're gonna have to work on him, get him dialed in, and yeah, maybe this one will be finished. It would be kind of cool to do this one all in black and white with just like yellow and bright green for hints and tones, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Also, I need to put something in between their mouth. I don't know what. Maybe a moose tusk, you know? I don't know. Because these things are known to eat moose. So they eat pretty much everything. They're ferocious, from what it says, and they eat a lot of things. Anyways, I hope everyone out there is having a good Wednesday night, and thank you for tuning in tonight. We are, hopefully I'll have a lot of work done by Friday. That is my plan. My plan is to get a bunch of work done by Friday. But with the new work schedule and being back at work, plus also publishing a Hot Wheels video every week and trying to get that out for everyone, which is a big time killer, just because there's research that needs to be done, and I guess all my projects have a decent amount of research in them. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one. We are, let me see, right, we're done here. We've just moved. Oh, we just need to add some color and start adding some paint. I need to do the background. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I also want to look up Boreal Forest again. Sorry guys, we will sign off here real quick. I know I did come in a little late, so we're just going to be doing that. Don't judge me for how many emails I have. I have a lot of email addresses. No. What is it called? Boreal Forest. Examples, locations. See, there's something like real Bob Ross about this one, you know? Just do something like this with a cool water scene, and then try to throw my UFO over it with... No, that's not gonna work. We need a snowy scene. I gotta hunt it out. Here it is. There's our moose. It's like all purple and gray. I'm gonna try to really use like a picture to pull the colors from this time around. Try to mimic something that's already made instead of creating something random. Okay, this would be cool. That has the aurora, the northern lights in it as well. So that would be a cool one to take in to use. Maybe I'll save that one. Anyways, like I said, we're going to end that one where we're at. Again, happy Wednesday. Hopefully everyone's getting through their week and having a productive week as well. And hopefully I'll see you back here on Friday to finish up, hopefully, this project. Most likely it's going to lag into the weekend like last week's did, and I didn't really want to start that off this way, but it just seems like I need to catch up on a few things or get ahead of a few things before I can really devote more time to this set of projects. Alright, well, that's going to be it for this one. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.